Greg. We have a slew of automotive news topics to get through, talk about whatever you guys want to in chat, and then just generally talk, automotive stuff.
That's always a good thing to do on an automotive YouTube, Facebook, social media channel thing.
You and your details.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed already, which all zero people are here, I'm sure, so far, Chad is tired. I am tired. We are tired. Yeah.
But we soldier on for you, our tens of viewers.
That's right.
Although I guess like in 3-second clips, thousands of people watch these.
Yeah, that's true.
According
That's
to
true.
the metrics or whatever. No, I don't know what it is. But in like the last hour, I got smoked with what feels like allergies. It's weird.
Yeah.
So
Well,
who the hell knows?
I'm sorry you have allergies. I know that all too well. Luckily, today is actually a really nice, cool night, so I'm not out here sweltering, and it's not like stuffy and disgusting out here, which is great. But I think a better thing to do would be to start talking about our topics, because I don't think there's really anything new otherwise on my end or your end. we can talk like personal car stuff, I think, more towards the end. But right now, I mean, since we're probably going to have people, let's shoot a topic out there. Why not?
All right. Wheels, do they need to be circular? Go.
No, if they have enough angles. If they have enough angles, they become a circle again anyway.
Depends on what generation console you're playing on.
Yes, exactly. Yes, polygons.
No, but Greg,
Yes.
you're the subject matter expert on this, as you just recently did a video on RAM.
Yes, only
And-
just a few hours ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, RAM is bringing back, has confirmed, or basically the short version of the story. I'll let Greg get into the details and the minutia where he thrives. The TRX will come back. Go.
Yes. So, as we all know, the Stellantis killed off the V8s and basically everything. They still sell them in some of their products, but the majority of their products are just like no more V8s. Obviously, with the Charger Challenger going away, that was the biggest thing. And then the Ram TRX went away as well. But that was supplanted by, I think it's called the RHO, right? So it was a 1500 RHO. It's got the Hurricane inline six. It's still got big power and everything, but it's not a V8. Still a cool truck, but it's not a V8. So apparently, according to
The fly in your garage?
yeah, I mean, there's definitely I don't know what's on my wall. It looks like a fly just got like massacred up in the corner. I just noticed, and I'm like, that wall's not white anymore. So basically, the CEO went on an earnings call and was like, "Oh yeah, the V8 will help us in other versions of cars like the TRX," and that was it. It was just like a really, really quick sort of quote, and it couldn't have been more than like, I don't know, 10 to 15 words. But it was on an earnings call, and basically the CEO is confirming that the V8 is coming back in the TRX, and the TRX is coming back specifically. So, with that said, like it's public knowledge now. But the interesting thing here is they said this, or the CEO said this without even having. There's been no formal announcement from Ram at all. So this is basically just a big CEO faux pas, and sort of a kind of a big oopsie that kind of just slipped out. So I'm thinking that this was definitely not a planned thing, because it was said very nonchalantly. It was definitely not a announcement sort of scenario. Nor would you announce something like that on an earnings call, especially Ram. They would want like a big grandiose thing. Like, we were at the launch of the Hellcat, right? Or the Demon in
Oh god. Why is this getting intense?
What are you doing? Why did the surface of the sun just magically appear in your room?
I don't know. Turn up to my fucking retinas.
So we were at the launch of the Demon. It was a thing. Like Wiz Khalifa was there DJing. And Vin Diesel was there. Like this is Ram and Dodge and Stellantis we're talking about. They want grandiose. They want a big thing, right? So the fact that this was just said, off the cuff in an earnings call definitely was not the announcement. So, long story short, we're getting the TRX back, we're getting the V8 back, and it begs the question of like we know the V8s are coming back eventually, but when and where? Because now they have this Challenger that they've gotten rid of the Challenger and Charger, and they've sort of made just one model now. So are they going to go back to two models? Are they just going to put a V8 in this thing? Like, what are they going to do exactly? And I'm really curious as to what exactly is going to happen, because they're definitely bringing it back. That's for sure.
See that? I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I think this is all them doing a lot of backpedaling from the. Turns out, all those loud internet people who said, "The fuck you doing getting rid of the V8?" Turns out they were right. What do we do? I mean, look, there's a couple things. Like, number one, like the TRX. The TRX and the Raptor, or more the Raptor R nowadays. They are Halo cars or Halo trucks, whatever you want to call them, right? Like if we're just doing broad strokes or whatever, they are to, their particular spectrum. They are to what like the Corvette is to GM or the Mustang, and like performance cars, pavement cars. In that, like, we've said this before, the Raptor R, the TRX, they are supercars. Their chosen area of operation is when the pavement ends. So True. It is a showcase of the brand. And, well, pickup trucks are the best-selling things in the country. So that's a really good place to showcase just look at our brand new thing and how great it is. Right? Like,
right.
So you had to imagine with the success of the first one, with the success the Raptor continuously has, that there was going to be another one. I don't think them letting it slip is breaking any, like, oh God, I thought this was never going to happen again. I think internally they thought that maybe they could, throw a high output version or a higher output version of the Hurricane to show like it's every good as the Hellcat. You guys, we've been telling you, and everybody's like, we don't care. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or because it's the same argument of just like, oh, this 4-cylinder hybrid or 6-cylinder hybrid makes 1,000 horsepower. It's the same argument as the Mercedes E-Class AMG. They're just like, oh, it has more horsepower. Does it have a V8? No, DGAF.
Right, because we live in a time and a place where horsepower is great. That gets me to look at you.
Right.
What gets me to buy the car is the overall experience.
Right.
And, AMG makes a ton of horsepower sometimes with a 4-cylinder engine with a clever turbo. I'm not that
cool, but I don't want that.
We don't, like in Mercedes' case, you don't buy those cars because you want a 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder is the engine you just sort of take because you have the small car. Now, have 4-cylinders proven to be good performance engines? Absolutely. But it's not the engine you aspire for.
Yeah. Halo cars deserve Halo engines. 4-cylinders will never be that.
And again, the whole idea of Rams in the 1500s going exclusively to the Hurricane, all Ram had to do was just look across the street at when Ford did it with the EcoBoost engines and go, the EcoBoost engine is objectively better in every single way. It makes more power, it's more efficient, and it can technically tow more. To which the Ford buyers are like, yeah, but can I still get a V8? Oh, cool. I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Ford's an interesting topic here because this is kind of like stage 2 of this conversation for me, because we just talked about like the natural, Ford versus Chevy back and forth. They're having it like the Nürburgring. We talked about it last week with the Z06, or sorry, not Z06, ZR1, ZR1x times. So, they're having like a back and forth. And I'm really wondering if Stellantis is just on the sidelines going, guys, we need to get in on this. What is going on? The natural, oh God, words. Wow, I really can't words today. I'm having like such a struggle. The natural, not predator. Oh God, opponent. The natural opponent for the Bronco, or not Bronco, the F-150 Raptor, is the TRX, and the RHO just kind of never was that. So the TRX, like, to me, they need that. Personally, I think they should have the RHO and the TRX sort of the way they have the Raptor, where they have like the Raptor, then the Raptor R. Like, to me, that would be cool,
right?
Like, but the thing is, like, that I think they're gonna do it just because they need something. They need to win because their sales are just in the dumps, and they need something to stoke.
Well, I think what they what they absolutely 1000% need is that right now all we're doing is we're hearing this, right?
Yep.
And that's good. That gets people like us to off their backs and like cursing the ground they walk on. But until they actually show that they're back to not the old way of thinking, but like that mantra of, being embracing the muscle car ethos with V8s. And this is to your point. All it is talk. All it is because like, if they're going to continue to talk about this stuff or let this stuff leak and all this other sort of stuff, you know what it's doing in the short term? Someone who was like, I might possibly be drunk enough to consider buying a Hurricane-powered Charger. It could be cool. The horsepower is pretty good, and I like the way 2Js sound, so straight 6s aren't the worst thing in the world. I might. True. Oh, wait, they're going to bring the V8 back? Never mind.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're actively cannibalizing their current sales to tell you that, no, we got rid of the bad man, and we're back to who we are. We promise, pinky swear. So, like...
Yeah, you're right.
And then while you were talking about it, I think with the TRX and the Raptor and with, like, some of this other stuff, with the Bronco Raptor and what have you, I think we need to figure out how to do an off-road Nürburgring.
Oh, yes. Absolutely, yes.
I don't know how you make it a consistent surface or whatever, but, like...
I don't know, but it needs to be a thing. Like it has to be a thing, because there's got to be a someone has enough land in like Illinois to just be like, hey, it's a bunch of trails in my backyard. It's like 20 miles. Go to town. It's got to exist. The U.S. is fucking big. And there's a lot of land that has like nothing on it. So there's got to be something. The U.S. is the perfect place for that. Like, the diversity of geography in this country is wild. So, like, this is a perfect place for that to happen. Chad, get on that. Get to researching.
Oh, I'm sorry. Foolish me. I had all these billions lying around that I didn't know what to do with.
No. I don't think you don't need to have the billions. You just need to have the pitch for the billionaire. Be like, oh, it's not like rally. It's gonna bring a lot more people in. Think NASCAR meets Formula One on dirt, and then they'll love it.
That exists. They're called 410 sprint cars.
Billionaires don't know that. Just pitch them. It's fine. They don't know what that is.
But I do think it's interesting how Ford has like doubled down on like the performance side of things with obviously the Mustang, but also like the Bronco, the F-150, and now even like the Ranger's getting a Raptor variant. And we don't have to dive in it because we talked about this pre-show. I just think it's funny. It's like TRX supercharged V8, yeah, Raptor supercharged V8 or twin turbo 6 or whatever, yeah, like super trucks, blah blah blah. And, Chevy just set an EV range record.
Yeah, right. There's so much weird stuff happening all over the place.
It's not like, that. It's the fact that Chevy has not gotten in the super truck market.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I didn't know where you're going with that. But even so, that's actually a great point. Like, you would think that with the Colorado, they have a platform, or I mean, even the Silverado, it doesn't matter. Like,
well, the Silverado would most naturally compete with the Ram and the F-150.
Right. But even so, like I feel like the Colorado's better suited for off road. Either way, whatever. Correct. You're right. You're right with the exact sales models and stuff like that. That's who they're fighting against. But like, why haven't they done it? They've literally never done it, which makes no sense to me at all. Like, right. I don't get that.
I don't know. Maybe the Corvette engineering team's like, all right, guys, here's our performance budget for the next 5 years. Corvette's just like, mine. No, that's not just mine. That would mean we'd have to kill the Camaro. Don't care. Mine. Like, look, I agree with you. I think the Colorado has like the ZR2 package. It's a pretty nice little off-road package. I think that with shit, if you took a Colorado ZR2, figured out a way to get an LS in there, you wouldn't even have to supercharge it to make it epic. And they would be the only ones in I guess the Ranger Raptor, but again, if you had the choice between an LS powered Colorado,
yeah,
with the Fox suspension and all that other trick off-road shit, and a EcoBoost Ranger Raptor, I mean, kind of writes itself. The sales kind of it's a surefire way to just get into the market, and do like that. It reminds me of what was it? Porsche, when the last gen GT3 RS came out, or GT3 came out, and there was only a dual clutch transmission, because the GT division is a division of the motorsport division, and that's the fastest thing, and they only had the budget to develop one transmission. So Andreas Portinga, who's the head of the GT division over at Porsche, he's like, okay, aha, I know what I'll do. And he did the Porsche R, right? Sort of the ultimate street Porsche with the right engine, with the manual gearbox. All the bigwigs are like, that ain't going to sell. Nobody's going to want to buy that. How do we... I know what we'll do. We'll offer it to everyone who's bought a 918. They have disposable income they don't give a shit about. They'll just buy them and whatever. And it turns out everybody wanted them. And then immediately, because they didn't plan ahead, they made as many as the tooling would actually allow. They could not make any more, not from a money standpoint, but from a literal, they'd have to redo all the tooling. And it had already been switched over to the 991 or 992, or I forget what it was, but the factory had already been switched over. So it was physically impossible. And then all the money that made Porting is okay, now we're going to split the GT lineup. We're going to have the Touring, which is the manual, engagement's everything. And then we're going to have the lap time monsters with the dual clutch. Chevy could do the same thing. ZR1, or I'm sorry, I forget what the hell it's called, but think Raptor style Colorado with a LS. Obviously it's not going to be an LS, it's going to be an LT of some variant that hopefully isn't complete and utter dog shit like all their current, or the what are they? The 6.0s are the ones that are having all the trouble right now. But you have a little bit of an aggressive cam, so you get a little bit of that lopey goodness. Hey, we can do it. Oh, there's an appetite for it. all right, let's make a supercharged one and put it in a Silverado and take on the big boys and say we're here. I don't know how they continue the dinosaur naming, because I think that's one of the greatest things in motor OEM motoring history is when you had the Raptor and Ram comes out with the T-Rex.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know if it's gonna work if like Chevy's like, this is the
The Chevy Diplodocus.
this is the man. Man killed, or like they call it the meteor because the meteor killed all the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to work as the Chevy Spinosaurus. It's just not a thing.
No. Oh my god.
No, I would definitely cross shop my next car with the Chevy Spinosaurus. My kids would absolutely love that. Very popular with parents that have children that are into dinosaurs.
It's like, all right, I guess we got to buy this because Junior won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
Sean shoves the new ZR1 engine into the Colorado. No. We don't need a flat plane crank Colorado. Like,
Definitely not. No.
put the old small, whatever the next gen. What are we on to? The 7th gen Chevy small block, technically, because we had it was LS, then LT, and then I think it's going to be, I don't know, LZ, and they're just going to have atoms everywhere.
Pretty much.
You know, I that was me totally guessing, by the way, and a poor joke. But like, the beauty of the small block architecture is that it fits everywhere. Like, it would just make the most sense. But I mean, for Ram, it's a no-brainer bringing the TRX back. It's probably the easiest. Yeah. It's probably the easiest vehicle they have to say, hey, we were 100% serious about the bringing back the V8s, and here's how serious we are. Bam, TRX. Because that platform doesn't really change all that much. Putting the V8 back in it, they already know how to do that. It's not like trying to figure out how to put a V8 into the Challenger, whatever, because it was never designed for a V8. Like, these Ram chat, like, it's probably something as simple as, oh, these are the straight 6 mounts. Let's just throw those away. Blam! Hemi mounts. Job done. Give me money.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I'm glad they're bringing it back. It needed to be brought back. Of course, they were going to bring it back, but still, I'm pretty stoked. The biggest question is how many horsepower is it going to have, because the Raptor R has 720, I believe. So we know Ram, well, Dodge. We know Dodge because Ram is just Dodge. I know it's its own company, but it's Dodge. We know how Dodge is with their horsepower. So I would imagine they're probably going to have the regular one at 750. They'll probably have a TRX Red Eye or whatever the hell they're going to call the next one at 800 to 850, which is just absurd in a truck. And then my guess is they'll have maybe a Elephant variant, just because that has 1,000.
Well, this goes back to the whole what's the next Hellcat, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, honestly, while I want them to go back to stuffing supercharged V8s into everything, as is the way, as you do, as much as I want them to do that, I think that the novelty of it would wear off almost immediately.
Yeah.
They're in a unique position to where they're the only manufacturer. Well, I guess Chevy could technically do it if they really wanted to, but they haven't shown any inclination to do it. And it's not as easy with the LS platform. But what they can do, they already make the Elephant as a crate motor. They know how to do that. Why I was thinking the next generation of Hellcat, or not Hellcat, but like top end Mopar, is a 427 NA. I understand, like
that would be awesome. I would love that. because the ones that interest me the most in Stellantis' lineup are all the NA variants. The Hellcats are cool. The supercharged stuff is cool, but like the 392, the has like I forget. I think it's 485 horsepower. In the Charger wide body or Challenger wide body, like that interests me the most because it's like it's a great amount of power. It is perfect for that like heft of car. It's definitely like it's definitely one of those like I think sweet spot moments because the 700 horsepower plus from the Hellcat, like we've seen so many people drive them on YouTube, and you know we've also driven them. Like it's just kind of unusable on the road. Like,
oh, this goes back. We've had conversations for days on what horsepower is usable.
Yeah. So like
the Hellcat
stuff is cool.
The Hellcat stuff was the wow, right? Like the Hellcat was wow. Someone put over 700 horsepower in a platform that's been around since the late 90s, early 2000s, going all the way back to Chrysler's when Chrysler was with Daimler Benz.
That's right. That's right.
You know, I think the absurdity of that was like a major league wow factor. And I think the way they drive and that muscle car vibe, it, like really struck a note. Obviously, they sold ridiculously well.
Yeah.
You know, but if you notice when they did like the Red Eye variant or the Demon variant or the we got more power out of it variant, it was after people had a chance to play with the stock Hellcats. So they knew that there was already YouTube videos and, you know, stuff on the internet of, I got 800 wheel horsepower with a pulley exhaust and a tune, right? Like, so when Dodge came out and said, yeah, we're making over 800 horsepower, people were like, that's cool. Continue doing that. You're awesome. You're just our favorite kind of people. But they were almost numb to it. I think if they could get a 700 horsepower 427, and I would argue that they need to shorten the connecting rods, whatever the fraction of a millimeter is, to get it to actually 426 cubic inches, for obvious reasons, would be the play. But you put that at now all of a sudden, it's whoa, it's new, it's different, it's exciting, it's okay, now I can put a supercharger on that as like a aftermarket deal, but like you can wow the industry again with an engine that's making a ton, even if it's like 650 horsepower NA. Like they're going to lose their like shit, right? Like they could even sit here and go, you know, unlike some people in Detroit, we didn't have to copy the Europeans to get real horsepower. Like, obviously taking a dig at Chevy or something, right? Like,
right.
Lean into the trolls that they were and everything. And, you know, because if they bring back the Hellcat, everyone's like, yay, the Hellcat's back. But it's not going to take long for everyone to be like, okay. And they're going to start, like, what's next? Like, you brought it back. You're on the right track. Come on. Give me something new. Right?
Yeah.
Sean goes, if you think a flat plane crank V8 can't be a truck motor, I direct your attention to the Volvo B36 V8. Of all the V8s at your disposal to say like a truck style engine or what have you, going with the Volvo V8 from the 50s is extremely Sean in a good way. Another flat plane crank engine you could have gone for was the Sherman tank engine that Ford built.
I would like to have that one day. Oh, nice truck you got there. What engine's under the hood? That's a tank engine. What? I would just love to have that conversation at least once in my life, and it be my own truck. That would be great.
Did you know this engine stormed Normandy?
Literally, we took it out of one of those tanks.
Yeah, so Steve, Andrew, what's going on, dudes? Welcome. Let's see here. As we have reached transition, Andrew, goes, the 2-liter in the P3 Volvo T6 S60 Polestar is different than the P3 inline T6 that's got more power, but Jason, I'm guessing Jason, on FCP Euro was talking about how it was all Swedish made with the 2.0. Now that engine is robust. Greg, you're into Volvos. Go.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Hang on, let me read it again. The 2-liter engine in the P3 Volvo T6 S60 Polestar is different than the P3 inline 6. Yeah, they're two totally different engines. One's a 4, one's a 6. The 4-banger was definitely made by Volvo for sure. But the inline 6 was still a Volvo engine. It was designed by Volvo. It was just built by Ford because they were still at the tail end of their partnership with Ford. Ford had sold them many years ago, but they obviously were just, hey, we had some ties. Can you build this for us? This is the SI6 motor that's in my car. So it was it's still a very robust engine. The 2 liters are also really good. My wife's got one in her car. It's pretty solid. It's got 110,000 miles on it now, and I keep bringing it to the dealer, and my buddy Sean keeps going, "Yep, it's great." Like it's runs great. Still is an awesome engine, and car's doing well. So yeah, you're right. It's definitely a robust engine for sure.
Let's see here. Sean goes, laugh driving your Sherman tank engine and cry doing a 22 quart oil change. Let me put it to you this way, Sean. If Greg has, I'm going to engine swap. I'm going to have a K5 or a K10 Blazer with a Sherman tank engine in it, kind of money. He has someone else deal with this kind of money.
Yeah, that is FU money, and I would be able to be like, you peasant, change this oil.
Also,
here's $10,000.
Speaking of like FU money, and just as something from like our childhood, that has never gone away or whatever. Did you see Matt Stone and Trey Parker got $1.5 billion to keep making South Park
from Paramount, yeah.
And then they made a literal "fuck you" Paramount episode, the first episode.
Yep, that's the most Matt Stone and Trey Parker thing they've ever done. It was so good because they don't need the money. They don't need neither do their workers. They've been paid by Comedy Central dozens of times over to just keep it going, and they're just like, okay, we're gonna take your money, and then we're gonna be like, go fuck yourselves. It's gonna be awesome, and it was.
Alrighty, all right, we're caught up. Greg, what's the next topic?
Yes. Ooh, good question. Please hold. Let me see. It was speaking of performance vehicles, Chevy Corvette ZR1X. We have pricing information. And it's a lot of money. But it's not Ferrari money. And it's not McLaren money. And it's not Lambo money. It's a lot, but it's still the bargain supercar for sure. Because let's be quite frank, the ZR1X and the ZR1 too, they're supercars at this point. They're more. Z06, the Z06 was borderline a supercar. These are definitely supercars.
No, I will disagree with you there. The Z06 is 100% a supercar. The ZR1 and the ZR1X are knocking on the door, if not based solely on their horsepower output, a hypercar.
I would agree with that, but I think a hypercar is some other echelon.
I think the ZR1 and ZR1X are to the hypercar what the Mustang is to the sports car, in that the Mustang is a sports car, but it's a little heavy, right? So you can make that argument on the ZR1 and ZR1X that they're too heavy to be a hypercar.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have different different definitions of things, but for me and like my personal definition of like a hypercar, it needs to have exclusivity too. So Pagani,
Koenigsegg, you know, that level, Bugatti, what's the one? If you're talking in the EV space, Rimac, like it needs to have exclusivity, right? You can't like McLaren's unless they do another P1. Ferraris, unless they do, you know, I know they have like the F80 coming out and stuff like that.
Well,
but like if
with
they
McLaren, they have the Senna, and then they're going to have the W1.
right, so I think the W1 could probably be in that same realm because it has exclusivity. There's not going to be many of them. So I think performance wise, yes, you can have supercars that are on par with hypercars. But they wouldn't be hypercars because there's no exclusive nature to them. And they're not, you know, $18 million. So that's the other side of it, which again goes back to the price of this thing.
So you're saying the Mustang GTD is more in that hypercar realm than the Corvettes are?
Yes, definitely. Because
As you were.
By my definition of hypercar, yes, because they are a limited run. But again, they aren't a hypercar in my opinion.
No.
Because it's the same argument. It's just like, okay, well, there's limited run, but they're not like millions and millions of dollars. That price difference also kind of factors in there too. But the price for the ZR1X for the performance, bargain. As always with Corvette, $207,000. Do you think that is appropriately priced, too expensive, or too cheap? That is my question to you.
I mean, if you go down the list of cars with 1,000 horsepower and you look at their price tags, right? This feels like a bargain. But the problem with the bargain is the every dude, not that the every dude could afford a ZR1 Corvette. You know, let's go back to the C4 ZR1. The ZR1 package literally doubled the price. It's really hard. Like, I love the fact that the ZR1 and ZR1X are just like Chevy unrestricted. Like, how much horsepower can we get out of this engine? Let's find out. It's over 1,000. Cool, make it. Right, like that part of me that loves engines, that loves horsepower, that loves the
like,
American, that American engineering showing up and telling Europeans like, haha, guess what we made? You motherfuckers are going on and on and on about your superior engineering and all your fancy schmancy engines. We made one too. It makes 1,000 horsepower. Suck it.
Pretty much.
So like that part I love. The fact that they're going to be about 210,000 MSRP that not one single solitary human being is actually going to pay for because the dealers are going to be greedy little fucking jackasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my guess is you won't touch one of these for under 3.
That's why, like, that's the thing. Why, like, when people release these pricing, right? It's like, that's fantastic. I think I saw multiple articles sitting here saying it's Corvette 1 ZRX is practically a bargain at $207,395. Fantastic, but again, like, dealers are gonna rat. Like, so I think these articles are, hey, know the price of this car before dealer stack hits you with a stupid upcharge, which is why I honestly think that some of these manufacturers should just literally, you order the car from, in this case, Chevy, you spec it out, you do everything, and the price is the price. You order all the stuff just like you would, at a menu at a restaurant. You just order everything and the price is right next to it. Boom, bang, boom, bang. There's your price. They build it for you and they ship it to the dealer. The dealer gets XYZ of the money to prep the car and everything, and away you go. Yeah. Because it's one thing to sit here and say, okay, this car is incredibly popular. We're going to tack on 5% or maybe even 10% on top of it, just because we don't get a ton of allotment for these things. So we want to, make sure a buyer's serious or whatever, or like they, make a little bit. I don't have a problem with making a little bit, but if some of this shit is just absolutely dumb, and that's why, like, when you get these pricing, it's like cool, but I feel like the article should just be titled "Know exactly how much the dealer is fucking you by," like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's honestly like what scummy level do you want to deal with? And that's like that shouldn't be a choice you have to make. And that is why I think a lot of dealers in this country, and I think worldwide, honestly, have tried to make inroads across the world and almost get on social media to get their name out there even more, because buyers can come from anywhere. And if you're a good dealer working, looking to work with customers that actually want to buy your cars, people will buy from anywhere. So, if you're in New Jersey, where we are, and your local Chevy dealer has one of these cars or can get them for you and order them, and they're like, but it's going to be 350,000. Oh, well, MSRP says 207. Yeah, but dealer markup. Whereas there might be a Chevy dealer in Illinois that's like, oh, you know what? We do have a little bit of a markup. It's not as much. We're thinking 250. Well, then you just saved yourself $100,000. And, lots of rich people became rich by being pretty frugal. So even though they have the money to spend on that kind of thing, they're still going to want the deal. Another one in California might have it for 225 to get a little bit of markup. So like, this is why I think dealers sort of do this and try to get their name out there and get known, nationally and worldwide, because again, sales can come from anywhere these days. You have the internet at your disposal to find these cars, to buy these cars, to have them shipped wherever you want. This isn't like the old days where you just go down to your town dealership, get a car, and you're done with it. Even if you're buying something basic like a Honda Civic and your dealer doesn't have what you want, guess what you can do? Go online and find it and have it shipped to you for pretty cheap, especially if it's local, or within the state, or within like the tri-state of where you live. You're muted.
You're muted. I bought my car in North Carolina.
Right, exactly. So like that then lends credence to why do dealers do this in the first place?
Because they only have a small allotment.
Sure, but that small allotment is also allotted to other dealers too, which might be willing to work with you. So like,
right. I will say this, that if all these cars come out and like, all right, this dealer in Wisconsin has the lowest markup, I'm buying from them, right? I get that, but for these ultra rare, ultra high performance enthusiast cars, and I would trickle that down to pure enthusiast cars like, Civic Type R, the Focus RS, the Nissan Z, the Supra, like all of these we clamor for these companies to make a car with a certain level of power, with a manual transmission, with this, with that, with this. And then they finally make it and they may say, hey, it's going to be priced at this. And everybody's like, okay, that's palatable. Yeah. And then you go to the dealer and it's $10,000, $15,000 more. Yeah. It's like suddenly it's out of my budget. And here's the newsflash. I understand at the Corvette level, if you have $200,000 or $250,000 or $300,000 to buy a car with, financing you don't necessarily need. Although a lot of people who buy these types of cars do finance, not because they have to, but because it's minimal out of pocket, and they have it on an asset that they're banking on will appreciate. So they have the minimum amount of outlay and still get the same basic return minus a little bit of interest over the course of a year or two. But if you go to find, but like if you trickle it down to like the car, like, you know, Civic Type R has a $10,000 dealer markup on it. You at minimum now have to leave a $10,000 down payment because no bank anywhere is going to finance above the value of the car. I just think overall, and obviously I'm preaching to the proverbial choir on this, but like it's just such a dumb practice. Like the fact that the Corvette ZR1X is a 6-minute and 49-second lap car around the Nürburgring, and you can have it for $210,000 is insane when you look at the company it's keeping and the price tags of all of those other cars.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
so it's just like, but because it's the buzzworthy car, it's the buzz of, you know, because talking heads like us talk about it, make content about it, etc. Dealers are going to slap some ridiculous markup on it, and it's like, and like not for nothing, the people who buy it at the ridiculous markup are fucking morons too, because they might as well light that markup on fire. Correct. I mean, sure, will the ZR1X or the ZR1 and even the Z06, will those three cars appreciate? Yes, they will. Will they appreciate to the point where you're breaking even in 5 years? Probably not. Almost definitely not. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I sort of took a left turn at Bakersfield on this one, but it's just like, it just brings up the one of the things that that's wrong with the current automotive industry. And that's why, like I said, like all this enthusiast based stuff, personally, in my opinion, I feel, you know, the car should be sold from the dealer, and like, let's just say hypothetically, let's just say the MSRP on these things is $210,000. Their margin on it is, I don't know, 10%, $20,000, $21,000. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking. Congratulations. You know, congratulations. Here's your allotment. Here's your 21K, and we move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Because the other way, like I said, not so much on the hypercar front, because these are just idiots with money, and they literally just see the money as well spent because these cars serve as you know, cock extensions, and they don't care. But when that stuff trickles down to the true enthusiast-based cars that were $30,000, $40,000 that people want, that average Joes could afford, and they're priced out of it because of these greedy assholes, it's hurting automotive enthusiasm. It's hurting car culture. It's just not good for anything. And like, I don't know. Personally, I love that every single dealer that does these stupid markups gets like dragged through the coals on the internet for it.
Yeah, agree. It is annoying. I think even if I had the money out of principle, I wouldn't pay the markup. Like there's not a car on earth right now that I would be like, I have to have that so bad that I would pay a markup on it. Like, no, you're already making money on the car. I'm not paying your stupid dealer markup. Go get fucked. Like, I'm not interested. Even if I had millions of dollars to just huck at cars, I wouldn't do it. But my money would be spent so much better elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that is ZR1X pricing closed.
Yes.
Car news. All right. I'll be right back. Greg,
Cool.
moderate the chat.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Don't care.
Fair enough. Sounds good.
All right, this is my carrot face.
Well, Chad's gone. Party time. Let's go.
How are y'all doing? So here's what I got to do. Actually, I got to get on my phone because the way we do this now, and a lot of you guys know, but like we used to stream this through Skype, right? So what I have to do now is go on my phone to look at chat, and Chad has it set up nicely where we stream through a company called Streamlabs, and we can kind of do any number of things on the back end where we throw out pictures that you guys see or videos and what have you, and that's just like the streaming software we use. So the other part of that is he has another window that he shows me where chat, so I can actually like see it in real time on here, which is great. But now that he's gone, I don't know why it's disappeared, but now I have to go on my phone to look at what you guys are saying. Yes, party time with me, absolutely. Still counts as a dealership even if it's used. That's true. It depends. But the dealership stuff is it's new stuff, right? So like even if it's a used car, we're talking about new because they're not going to mark up used cars. They're just going to price them differently. Like on the sheet for new cars, it literally says dealer markup or market adjusted price, which is essentially dealer markup. So like that kind of stuff, that'll be on new cars. You won't see that on old stuff and used stuff. Let me get to the YouTube chat too, because I need to find. All right, we got 3 watching on Facebook and 3 watching on YouTube. Nice. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Hi, I'm your emotional support automotive enthusiast. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about you. How big you want to be the therapist? Let's talk about you for a minute here. Just going back to, I guess I'll just go back to the topic of like, I think it's really interesting with what's going on in cars right now. We are talking about V8s coming back, the TRX coming back. We're talking about the ZR1X having biblical Nürburgring times. Supercars seem to be having sort of not a renaissance, a resurgence, I guess you could say, because what's going on is like a lot of these restrictions that were in place are now being resolved and they're being pushed off. So I guess we're allowed to like do fun stuff again, but like also the market is not necessarily being like, yes, everyone wants EVs or hybrids, even though, that is a considerable amount of people and a big part of the market now. It's still very interesting to see a lot of these like supercars changing into something completely different than what they thought they were going to be. Ram TRX with the V8s coming back. A lot of car companies are killing off their next version of EVs. So like, I don't know. We could have longevity on the internal combustion front is what I'm sort of getting at here. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with a lot of these car makers because they seem to be backtracking on a lot of what they've set up over the last 5 to 7 years. And I don't know if it's because of governmental restrictions now loosening, or if it's them seeing the bottom line and going, oh, this is really expensive. We got to go back to the way we were doing things before. Because at the end of the day, these car makers, while they all, might say, oh, we want to speak to the enthusiast. We want to talk about, we want to make sure we're one with the working man. At the end of the day, they're here to sell us cars, right? And if they're not selling cars, or if they're seeing stuff on their end on how expensive things are to manufacture, how expensive things are to, get to the dealer, and the dealer not making as much money because the costs have gone up, they're going to make a change. So maybe that's part of it. Oh, excuse me, yeah, I'm yawning like crazy. Let's see. Sean goes, I'm going to explore the wilderness and go SUV camping this weekend and also attend a hill climb. That sounds awesome, dude. I am stoked for you because one, SUV camping is fantastic. It's like one step up from, you know, regular camping, but not quite glamping. You can like sleep in the SUV, which is cool. So you kind of got a roof over your head. Big fan of that. My therapy, Sean goes, my therapy is going to be waking up in my SUV next to a waterfall and possibly having tea with a black bear in a national forest. Honestly, that sounds so good. I might join you, but not with you. I'll go do it somewhere else so you can have your alone time. That sounds really freaking good, dude. Like honestly, that is something I want to do so bad. I really want to not necessarily make an overland like build. I mean, I do want that too, but I would love to just grab an SUV, 4Runner, big Tahoe, what have you, and just go into the wilderness for like 4 days, just camp in the SUV, hike, do a whole bunch of stuff, like, maybe go like rafting or, like kayaking, canoeing, whatever. Find a lake in the Adirondacks and just like go and just not come back for like a week. That sounds so good, dude. I hope you have the best time, honestly, because that is going to be so much fun. And yes, Chad, who is not here but is in chat, what is the name of the hill climb? That is a great question. I'm curious. Excuse me. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Well, Chad is no longer here. Let's talk about Chad. Chad's dumb. No, just kidding. I don't know. What else can we talk about? I don't really have anything. I don't have anything in mind. I'll tell you guys, my mind is shot. I have had basically no sleep the last like 2 straight weeks. So I got nothing going on up here. Literally nothing. My mind is just an empty vacuum. It's basically just a black hole of that's all I got absolutely nothing. I am going on vacation next week, so that is good. I am going on vacation next week. I'm going up to Maine for my annual trip to see family and friends and hang out. Speaking of wilderness, Maine up there is great. So I won't be on the show next week, no matter what. Chad is taking a picture. I don't know what of. So I won't be here next week, but it will be a lot. It will be a lot of fun, just because I love Maine. It's great wilderness stuff, and it'll be really interesting to see how the SUV, my wife has an XC90, does the trip as it gets older. That's the. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. That is the car we have gone up there in basically since my kids have been born. We did have a press car 1 year. That was Volvo XC60. And we only had one kid at the time, my oldest, obviously. And we did that trip with all of the baby accoutrements. So your pack and play, your diaper bags, your personal stuff. We didn't have a roof box or anything. It was just literally us, my one son in a car seat, and the trunk and the other stuff, right? It was so crammed in that XC60. We're just like, we need the XC90. There's no way we're going to be able to do this with two kids. So we have the XC90. But other than that, we've done that trip with those kids and this SUV only. And so far, where's my head? Knock on wood. The car's been flawless every time. And there's been a couple things that have gone wrong with the car over time, but like, it's not like major stuff, honestly. Anthony is here. Anthony is watching. I can literally see you on Facebook. saying Mark Anthony is watching. What's up, dude? I can see you are in chat. Oh, there's Anthony Kirkpatrick and Mark Anthony in chat. Anthony, now that you're here, and now that Chad's back, it's now my turn to.
Don't.
Bye.
So, the reason I wanted Sean to mention the hill climb is obviously this year I'm just not going to be able to attend, but it is open.
Ooh.
So, for 2026, Mustang's up and running. That's my goal.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You know, to have it sort of sorted, have like everything, have everything sort of dialed and everything, and to do that hill climb. And since it is open, I'm entering you as well.
Look, I'm down. I'll be in for the hill climb. Let's go. Let's do it.
And it would also, given a lot of the, hey, Anthony is here. Welcome back, buddy. Where the heck you been? I've had to hear about your life through Sean. And he just
welcome, dude.
And he's just talking about your like 17, 19 different cars. We missed your beard in this chat.
Right.
But no, I think it's cool. It's a cool thing. For one, it gives me a goal for the car. Two, it like, let me put it this way: if I'm even remotely close to not meeting that deadline, something has gone horribly wrong in my life.
Yeah,
it's a cool deadline for the car. You go.
I do need to.
Go away.
Okay, bye.
Nobody likes you, including Anthony.
I mean, accurate, yeah.
But doing something like that hill climb is like it's a double whammy, because like I get to do something cool, get to travel a little bit, get to do again a fun event with. Don't get me wrong, I like doing the drag racing stuff, but my heart and soul has corners. And doing something like that would be fun as hell, personally. And given that it's in like West Virginia, it's pretty, you know, obviously Sean's there. Anthony's not that far away. Bunch of you in PA. You have, you know, Steve in South Jersey. You know, to our viewers and supporters and stuff who are a little further south. Yes, it's another East Coast event. So anyone who's coming, any of the guys who support us via the West Coast, you know, it's a bit of a hike, but it's a good goal to have, as not only, again, a motorsport event that I can do and have fun with that isn't like autocross, because like I'm not about cones. Like it loses something, even though it's fun. It just loses something. But it'd be a good like meetup. You know, like, hey, we're gonna be here. If you want to come, hang out. And that sort of stuff. Sean goes, I plan to have Timmy up and running for the hill climb event. Yes, you're going to see some epic modern Mustang versus old Volvo head-to-head action. And we're gonna put those. Sean's claims of the incredible G's Timmy can obtain to the test in pitched automotive battle. Andrew, the S80 is doing good. I took it to a 3-hour trip to the AutoWorks. Fixed the AutoWorks shop's expensive, but the work is phenomenal. Always a good thing. If it's not like redonkulous, like paying a little extra to get good work is always a good play. Glad you had a good time with it. Sean goes, 2 of the cars are mine, so they don't count, and I think half of a motorcycle. That's what we call in the industry exaggeration for effect. Yeah. No, it's good to have Anthony back. Even though he's gone silent. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. and the 20-second chat delay between me speaking and you hearing it and typing a response. Talk about some of the weird stuff that's been going on. Not weird, but weird in a good way. Stuff I didn't think were going to hit. That's starting to hit, like grassroots motorsports that we've talked about. You know, between the super modifieds, the 410 sprint cars, and stuff like. I've been diving into that rabbit hole because shit, if that stuff's hitting, it's like fishing. When they're biting, you fish. That stuff's been cool. We've done some Nürburgring stuff, almost too much Nürburgring stuff with the Corvettes and the Mustang and all that. What else? I guess also did go up to Blue Sky. We were talking about some engine options. There's a engine builder in Anthony's neck of the woods. And when I say neck of the woods, Virginia, which I understand is not like a hop, skip, and a jump. But about an engine, I'm also going to be reaching out to a couple other of the bigger engine builders just to get an idea of what pricing for stuff is. I have a working theory that it's going to cost quite a bit to have my current motor rebuilt in the spec that I want it. But also, I don't know. And knowing is a pretty big, if I don't have all the information, making the best possible decision becomes more difficult. I also, where is it? There's also a company that makes a pretty good 5.2 short block, but it's designed in a more motorsports application. So they tap and delete the piston oilers, which I want to keep my engine a street engine. I understand that this engine can be streeted, but I don't want to lose like the ability to go on a road trip because like the piston oilers help with, whether it be obviously lubrication, cooling, etc. And everything. But I'm almost positive now that she's at least going to get a 5.2. If I can find someone who MMR makes a crank. So like I said, this engine builder down in Virginia is interesting because he builds the suit. So in theory, I could send him a block, a crank, pistons, and rods, and have kind of the 5.4 or 5.5 build. But I've heard some things about MMR. I'm not slandering MMR. From what I understand, they do pretty good, blah, blah, blah. But I've heard some things, so I'm like a little hesitant to do that. Sean I was just kidding, making fun of myself for having a scattered collection of vehicles. A scattered collection is still good. And to have a buddy like Anthony who's willing to storm for you, even better. Sean goes, speaking of the hill climb, I just think it's awesome that we have our own mini Pikes Peak in West Virginia. I mean, you definitely got the mountains for it. So, like, that's obviously a plus. No, I think it's... I think that's really... Again, I think that's really, really cool. The whole point of the Mustang build was to do various different types of motorsport, and I never got around to it. So it's something when the new build is finished, or at least at a phase where... Because builds are never done. We all know this. That to do the fun stuff that I never got to do with the other car. I also think having a 5.2 cross plane, knocking on the door. Probably should make a little over 600 at the crank. Naturally aspirated engine. It's on a hill. Should be a recipe for a hell of a time. Sean continues. Most of the videos I've seen on the runs takes about a minute or two, depending on the car. I mean, not for nothing. That's how a lot of these things have to be, because if you take over too much more of the roads, like, the locals get upset. Where is it? So, like, I get it. Like, I've always wondered why they don't have a hill climb at the Dragon, because it's literally a road to nothing. Anthony goes, audio enthusiast tourism is going to take over there in Appalachia, probably. Good night, Anthony. Sean continues, yeah, we have the Gambler 500 and other communities, I think, for that. Sean goes, definitely want to catch some Drift Appalachia events when they rip through. I didn't even know that was an official thing. I figured it was a thing, but oh shit. Ugh. Sean goes, I believe this hill climb is actually on a main road to a resort. I mean, that would make a ton of sense. But again, like, how... It's finding something that's going to be like a solid 5-minute run is kind of difficult in today's day and age. Sort of. Alrighty. Greg has returned.
Hello.
How'd you go? How was your tinkle?
It was tinkalicious.
Nice. Alrighty.
That one.
So I actually caught up.
Sweet.
I guess we can move on to our third and final topic that you were going to regale us with.
Oh, yes. Hang on. Let me bring it to my own attention.
How dare you not have this stuff pulled up and ready to go?
I know, right? You returned me to the jerk store. Where are you? Yes. So, Amazon and cars. They're going to start selling them to you. That's the whole story. So, much like eBay, they started eBay Motors, right? And they've been selling cars on eBay for, many, many, many years now. But Amazon has not been doing that. And now they are starting to. So this sort of ties into Amazon making the slate, because now they're really sort of making a push into the automotive sector. They're not necessarily, one begets the other, but, they're making a car, they're making an EV. And they're also now pushing into the automotive space, where the headline of the Car and Driver articles reads, Amazon Autos will now sell you used and certified pre-owned cars. The cars will be added to the site starting in Los Angeles before extending around to the entire country. So Amazon Autos, like, you can buy cars on Amazon, but like, they've only sold basically Hyundais, and they're now going to be dabbling in used cars and CPO cars, which I find very interesting. So, with that said, and with Amazon's big push into cars, which is as a whole, Would you buy a used car from Amazon Autos specifically, either used or certified pre-owned? Or is it something where you still have to either go take a look at it? I mean, sight unseen is a thing that happens a lot these days, but what's your take on this, Chad? Do you think Amazon should be selling used or CPO cars? And would you buy from Amazon if you're in the market for something like that?
So to the first part about that, am I surprised? Absolutely not. You got to remember, Amazon started its life as the online bookstore. They sell a smidge more than books now.
Yes. Books and I think maybe some school supplies, right?
Yeah. And not at all Chinese crap.
No.
And then when you consider the fact that they're doing the slate, they had to have some sort of point of purchase for that.
Right.
So if you're Amazon and you're basically a coding company that just happens to write that code to sell shit, and you're already doing the code to build a website, a point of purchase for your brand new EV car that could potentially change the way we look at buying cars. And I'm not saying that for hyperbole. I genuinely think that if it's done right, it will change the way we buy cars. It's only natural that you're like, well, shit, we've done 85% of the work. Might as well do the rest, right?
Right.
Would I buy off of eBay, Amazon, wherever, without seeing the car? Short version of that is yes, because I bought my last car without looking at it. And frankly, what went wrong, I couldn't exactly go and look at.
True.
I couldn't have crawled into the engine. I guess I could have demanded like a leak down test or whatever, but that's pretty, like, not many people are going to do that for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, for me, I would want to know who I'm buying from. Now, is this like a, what is it? Not CarMax, Carvana, one of the two. Who's the one where you buy it and they deliver it to you? Those guys?
Oh, Carvana.
Like who's doing the selling? Is
Right.
is it Amazon themselves? Is it certified dealers? Or is it like any Joe Blow dealer that just puts a listing in, right?
Right.
Effectively, what I'm getting at is what assurances do I have that A, this car is as advertised, B, it's in the condition as advertised. I'm assuming they're going to have the stuff in place where you get the 7-day test drive. If you don't like it, you return it, no, free or for a nominal fee.
Right.
Which actually gives me an idea for like a cheap rental car. But you'd actually have to have the the capital to buy the car. But
Right.
if let's say I had to spare $40,000 and bought a $30,000 car cash, drive it around, return it, and for like $200, it's like, hey, I just rented a car I really like for $200. Anyway, nefarious ways of screwing companies out of stuff aside. I think if it's done right, yes, absolutely, because you have the backing of Amazon. You mean to fucking tell me they don't have the money to recoup if something goes wrong? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're a massive company. Why not? Like, they do everything else. Like I said, as long as it's done in such a way where I trust where the car is coming from, I don't see any problem with it. And again, it's just a natural progression of their business model, right? Like, eBay was an online auction place where basically you threw stuff up, people bid, and then eBay started, like, getting more niche and niche and niche and niche and all this other stuff. It's just a natural evolution. And frankly, with the success that a lot of these, like, buy a car, have it shipped to your doorstep in 2 days companies are having, why not? Also, I think it would be really cool if Amazon delivered me a car by a drone. I think that'd be a little bit of an event.
That would be pretty awesome. Like from the sky.
Yes.
I think that's called helicopter delivery at that point.
I don't care what you call it. I just think it would be really cool to have like, an aerial resupply and poof, Ford Bronco Raptor.
Yeah, that would be sick.
But like, I don't know. Where do you land on this?
I mean, I see it as just another used car company. Honestly, like, we like you said, we shop around online. We look at Car Gurus. We look at Craigslist. We look at Facebook Marketplace. We look at dealerships. We look at, it goes back to my point of dealerships wanting to be national and global. Car buyers are everywhere, and they will buy from everywhere. It is no longer a go down to your local dealer and just buy what they got kind of scenario anymore. Hasn't been for 2 decades. You could get cars from anywhere, on the internet. So to me, I would say yes. I would very much, buy from Amazon Autos in that sense. I think that it will be interesting to see where this goes and how it does tie into the slate. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see just what the stock is, and I want to know if it's true Amazon stock or if they're just like relisting stuff that's out there, or if it's really going to be like. I mean, can it be similar to where people sell their own cars on Amazon eventually too? Like you can list your car on Car Gurus, you can list your car on eBay. I'm wondering if we'll eventually get down that path where you can list your car on Amazon as well. But personally, I would. It just depends on what they got. I'm also a strange case with buying cars. Like again, I like you bought it in North Carolina. The one sitting behind me came from Washington State. Like it's you go out of your way to find what you want. And if Amazon had that particular car du jour for me that I was looking for, sure, why not? As long as it's not really as long as it's not like a total shit show. But again, you'd have to really kind of like do more due diligence. And I would imagine like it wouldn't happen on like a Civic or anything, but I would imagine you could still send someone over to PPI the car. $100, $200 could save you many, many thousands. So, there's that. But in answer to your question with a very long answer, yes, I would, depending on the circumstances in the scenario.
Yeah, I mean, again, to your point, buying a car is, I mean, there's certain people who are going to go see a car. Like, very few people go to dealer shop anymore. Like, that's like, I've been helping a buddy try to find a car for what seems like ages, and it's like, we find something on the internet, we go and we look. We find something on the internet, we go and we look. It's like everything else now, right? You can buy almost anything online. I'd argue you could buy pretty much everything online.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the nature, and it just seems like a proper evolution, and like not for nothing, it just like when you first sent me this, my first thought was like, oh great, Auto Tempest has to add another thing to their website.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So it's like
they are the catch-all.
So it's like, again, like how it'll be implemented. Are they actually? Is Amazon actually carrying an inventory? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's my question.
Like, I don't think. I mean, let's face it. They could if they wanted to, but like, on the flip side, should they? Like, it'd be much easier if like. I could honestly sit here and see an Amazon buying, I don't know, Auto Trader or Cars, or pick something that's a little lower down on the list, and now just because like the Amazon name is attached to it, people are going to be more likely to use it, right? They just use something that's existing and they integrate it into their sphere, the Amazon.com, or AmazonAutos.com. Come buy a car now.
Right.
You know.
Cars to you the next business day.
Also, I was thinking about it. And I don't know if this, I doubt this would even be a part of it, but I'm just thinking like they could revolutionize something and be like, we can offer car buyers something nobody else can. And that is a perk that comes with Prime. Right? Like, it's not necessarily like free 2-day shipping of your brand new fucking car.
Well, right.
But like,
which would be awesome, by the way.
But like, they do it. So in the gaming space, Twitch, you can sub. You get every month you get a Prime sub that you can sub to a channel.
Yeah.
On Twitch, no cost to you. Right? So like, imagine if Prime is 5% off the purchase price. I'm not saying that's what's going to be because that's a shit ton of money. But
right, but like if you're a Prime member, you get
or
X
free
off
or like a free number of listings or
right.
Or if you're a Prime member, you go through Amazon's version of a PPI.
Right, yeah. That's a great idea. If you're a Prime member, you get a free PPI on the car because you can't actually go look at it. That I would buy my next car on Amazon if that was offered.
Right? Like that's the thing, like that's one of the things that came to me on this. This is like, you know, it's not like we have a Car Gurus Prime, right? It's not like Auto Tempest offers you anything. It's like all this other stuff. There's no way to like
eBay too. eBay's the closest thing to this, right?
Right.
So
and
like
even
eBay doesn't offer that.
So like that could, you want to talk about them revolutionizing how you buy a car with the slate, how you buy a new car. Prime could sit here and say, you know, or if like you sell a car with them, you get Prime free for a year, which I would wager is kind of the route they would go as opposed to giving discounts. But again, like like Amazon Assurance with Prime, buy your next car and know it's this, and then you have pick a number of days to, or like what that comes with, like as far as whether you want to call it a warranty or anything like that. You know, like I don't know, like I may have just given Amazon the idea of a century, but like
it's recorded. It's recorded.
Yes, turns out Bezos is one of our 2 viewers on YouTube.
Can you imagine? That would be insane.
You just see the typing 3 dots just in chat. And then it's deleted as he's like, oh, shoot, I meant to send this to my CEO, not comment on these idiots.
Bezos is typing.
Yeah. It's like, uh-oh. Sean goes, every Amazon car purchase comes with an Amazon swag bag that may or may not include an Amazon return item. I mean, yeah, probably.
I'll just come with gift receipts.
Like, yeah, right. No, like I said, it's interesting. It's like I don't see how if they just went the traditional route, it's just another place to look for a used car.
Yeah,
in my estimation. It's not anything special. It's not a reason to pay for Prime, or maybe this is a thing where like if you know you're buying a car, they have a Prime Plus, and Prime Plus comes with stuff for Amazon Autos and discounts. Like because like let's face it, right? Like if they're doing cars, they have car parts on Amazon. Amazon Prime Auto. Discount or a free PPI on a new car purchase, or discount on car parts, or what have you. I understand the way they do it's stores with like Amazon is the mall and where you're buying from is the individual store. Like I get that part of it. But like something to where like car guys could, hell yeah, like something to incentivize Amazon to be the first. That's where I'm looking first. And shit, they could take away the free stuff after a year and a half, 2 years. People like I use Car Gurus because it's the car site I started searching on with the original Mustang. Actually, no, that's false. The C30. And I've just used it religiously since. Auto Tempest is arguably a better tool for finding the next car. But I just started using Car Gurus, and that's the habit I formed, and here we are.
Yeah, I like car gurus too. That's my go-to.
But Sean, Sean is just over here making unhinged jokes. But yeah. Anything else that you would like to discuss? Get off your chest.
No, not particularly. I mean, we could talk about the EV range thing if you wanted to with the with the Chevy stuff.
Go for it.
So so here's the thing. The biggest thing with EVs is what? Range, right? Always has been, probably always going to be. The biggest thing for me is range doesn't really it doesn't matter to me, honestly, because I don't really care about range the same way a lot of other people do. But people drive many, many miles to work and they need range. So EVs have been trying to just continually get better and better and better at range and more efficient at charging and holding charges longer and blah, blah, blah. But there was a record set a couple of years ago by, what was it? The Lucid Air. And they did one charge. Now this is like full charge to completely empty till the car like just died. 749 miles. That's an impressive number of miles for any car, let alone an EV, in one tank of either electrons or dinosaur juice. 749 is a pretty good number. So apparently, the engineers over at Chevy, they have an EV pickup. It's the Silverado EV. They just did a trip with this same thing of full charge to failure, 1,059.2 miles on a single charge. That is an absurd amount of miles on a single charge for EV. That's an absurd amount of miles for a gas engine car, quite honestly. Over the fleshy 1,000 miles is
the
nuts.
fleshy bit behind the wheel is running out of energy before the car is.
Correct. So, I mean, if this was the range that EVs were getting, then it's game over. Like, there's no need for gas engines because that's part of the whole thing of range, right? I mean, obviously, people will want like people think EV cars are soulless. There's a whole different argument to be had here. But as far as
most people don't most people outside of us don't give a shit about that.
Right, exactly. I was gonna say that's like 1% of all car buyers. There's zero reason to have a commuter car that's internal combustion if you have this kind of range. So this is a like groundbreaking amount of miles for an EV. The craziest thing is they did it in a pickup truck.
Right, like the sheer mass of the fucker.
Yeah, the mass, it's basic, like the wind resistance is not good. It's basically just driving a flying brick. Like, we like Volvos on this channel, but like Volvos are aerodynamic now. Like big SUVs and big pickups, they are still not. Like a big Chevy Silverado EV is still just a big fucking brick going through the wind. So like, I don't know what your take is on this, but I consider this insanely impressive. This is one of those things where I think I don't know if it's going to be like a watershed kind of moment, but I've been waiting for this to come out from the EV sphere because it was only a matter of time until something like this happened. I'm just shocked that it was in a Silverado.
So there's a few things here. Number one, that Lucid that did over 700 miles. What does that thing do in the real world?
I think the range is like 300 or 400. And like stop and go, like their range for that model, Lucid Air Sapphire, is like between 300 and 400.
So like literally half.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
So it's all well and good to do this and say, hey, it can do this. Now, that Silverado was modified too. I don't know the exact modifications, but in the article you sent to me, it said it had some modification. They didn't change like the battery pack or the motors or anything like major, but there were some slight modifications.
Mm-hmm.
So on the one hand, it's like 1,000, that's great, but in the real world, it ain't going to do anything close to that. On the other hand,
Right.
if it keeps in line, that's about 500 miles. Like if it's 1-to-1 with the Lucid, right? If it does half, in the real world, it does half the max range. Look, I think it's good that they're pushing this stuff. I just think like it's you still like what's the best way to put this? You still have to convince people that they're going to be able to do the long drive, and doing it in a specialized vehicle in ideal conditions with the sole purpose of saving and hypermiling every second to get that number. One hand, hugely impressive. On the other, in like we just said, in the real world, we're talking 500, maybe.
Right.
And I don't think that's enough for people to say, right or wrongly, I'm going to replace my gas car with this.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's the uphill battle that EVs are facing. Like we've talked about, nobody gives a shit about cars. Like if you're watching this, you care about cars. We care about cars. Enthusiasts care about cars. 98.7% of the population does not give, and that's a random number. That's not an actual scientific fact or based on anything other than the numbers that popped into my head when I was actually saying this. The point is, the overwhelming majority of people do not give the first flying fuck about cars. So I'm going to get them from point A to point B. It's convenient to refill. It's no more difficult than going to a gas station is now. Like, and that's it. They don't care if it has an exciting engine. So the fact that the powertrain's electric or gasoline, they do not give a shit. What they care about is that electric vehicles, the range is so wildly. Oh, you get this range in this temp, or you get this range in this, or like the whole EVs having issues up in Chicago when it got cold.
Yep.
Like all of that stuff.
Real world stuff.
Yeah, and even if this, I don't know the numbers of the stuff in Chicago, but like even if that was a very small number, comparatively speaking, the headline won, right? EVs suck in this type of weather.
Yep.
So it's all well and good to do this stuff. It's all well and good to say, hey, look, we just took what is more than likely a 3.5 ton vehicle and did this. It's actually probably a little more than that, but I did it. It's very impressive that they managed to do this. But until they can sit here, I honestly think the range of batteries is less important than the convenience and time to charge.
I would agree with that. Yep.
We both drive cars that get $300 to $400 miles to a tank, right?
Oh, I would love $300 or $400 for tank. Please pay me back, car.
Oh, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
So we don't mind going to fill up because until Wawa did this stupid thing where you have to pay inside first. It was super convenient to go and say, hey, fill me up, I'll pay inside. Go to grab like a Red Bull or something or whatever you need in the morning, go pay at the register. Slightly less convenient now, but they're quick about taking your card. So like you can go in, say fill it up, give them your card, they give it back, go into the shop, get your whatever, come back out. Maybe all time spent, depending on lines and stupid people, 5 minutes. If you could have that same thing with an electric car,
Yep.
and you can prove that fast charging doesn't hurt the battery, which I don't A lot from everything I hear, that's still the case. The faster you charge, the worse the battery gets.
Yep. It is.
And the battery degradation isn't so severe that after 5 years, your full charge is only 75%.
Right.
Like, what is it on the iPhones? You can go and you can look at your max charge capacity versus new, right?
Yep. 100%. Well, not 100%.
No, newsflash, almost nobody's is.
Yeah.
But so that is more, like I said, like we said, that is more important. So if you could somehow figure out a way to have a charging station, I don't know, attached to a gas station or adjacent to a gas station, that's in as convenient a location. Because a lot of time these charging stations, sure, on interstates you have them, but on like regular main roads, they're off to the side. They're off in like a random parking lot that you have to take to, and people don't want, even though it may not be that inconvenient, the fact that someone has to make an extra step, they don't like it. Fuck it, I'm not doing the thing at all. Like, so like this range stuff is great. Like, it's great that you're extending it, but like, to be 100% honest, this falls with what I've been expecting. And not for nothing, you're getting it on liquid state batteries. Fantastic. Great. Solid state. Everybody knows solid state is the future. They've charged faster. They hold more charge. They're easily recycled.
Yep. 100%.
You know,
So as soon as solid state comes out, or it comes out and then it is mass adopted, then again, I think that's more of a game over scenario.
and even so, like the problem again, but the tech is so above and beyond the infrastructure.
Yep.
That you almost have to bludgeon the infrastructure. And I don't mean drive your car into like a bridge. What I mean is like the electric car has to get 1,000 miles per charge because it's more inconvenient to go and get quote unquote a tank of gas. I understand the convenience of being able to charge at home. Right? I totally get that. But the pushback on electric cars is that they deviate too much for some people from the traditional driving experience, all things considered. I don't necessarily think that, but that's what the general public thinks, and that's why they haven't had wide-scale adoption. And
True.
frankly, if you live in the middle of the country, an electric car is a nice idea, but not much more.
Yeah, that's true. 'Cause you're driving long distances, even just to go to Walmart.
You know, so it's like, and guess what? Half the population lives there. You know, so that's half the population of people who buy cars. So
Exactly.
even if you got, which again makes the fact that they got to 20% market share pretty impressive, because it was mostly the coasts.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like it's cool that they're doing that. It's cool that they're pushing it, but it's not, you know. Show me VinWiki doing a Cannonball Run in an electric car.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You know, I would argue that might be the best possible PR for an electric car
Probably.
is to do the Cannonball Run. Mm-hmm. Shit, not even at top speed, just do it without charging.
Yeah, that would be crazy. How long is it? How long is that? How far does that go?
It's out New York to L.A.
I know, but like, how many miles is that? I want to say it's like 2,700. I think. Probably wrong. It's far.
3,011 miles, according to
3,000. Okay.
Wikipedia. According to Google AI, it's 2,800 miles.
Yeah. If you do so, the specific places is the Red Ball Garage in New York City to the Portofino Hotel. Those are the two specific locations.
All right. So, what's the port?
Do Red Ball Garage, New York City.
No, I'm on the. Where in LA?
Oh, I don't know if it's LA, but it's called the Portofino. It's the Portofino Hotel.
Oh, in Pensacola. Fuck it, it's close enough. Nope, that's in somewhere in Louisiana. Fucking
Nice.
I'm actually kind of impressed you knew the starting and end points of the Cannonball.
Yeah, I just remember watching VinWiki so many times, especially when doing these like things. Oh, it's called the Portofino Inn in Redondo Beach. That's what it is.
We're gonna go with Portofino Way in Redondo Beach. And what is it?
That's
The red
Red Bull Garage.
All right. So there's a couple different routes. 2,811 miles on the one route, and and this other route, it doesn't want to tell me.
We'll say 2,800 then, because
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I would imagine you'd want the least amount of miles.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure if it's all like, let's just imagine the least amount of miles, but part of it is taking you through the tail of the dragon, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah. I mean, that's obviously a lot and well beyond what. I mean, that would triple effectively what the Silverado did, right?
Right.
But I also would sit here and say that's the type of thing that is so ungodly impressive that people are like, you're not hypermiling. Far from it.
Right.
And it still did what range? Like,
Yeah.
that would be so undeniably like, nope, that's it. Pretty much. You win.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it has to get to that point. I still think you could do whatever the north-south version of the Cannonball Run is, which is
Right.
slightly less mileage, of the lower 48 states.
Yeah.
But like, and I
Maine
think,
to Florida.
well, I was just thinking like Minnesota to Texas.
Yeah.
Or even like Minnesota, like just literally follow the Mississippi River or whatever. But yeah, like, I'm not saying for me to buy an electric car, I would need to see something like that. I'm just sitting here saying it's that the electric car recharge, charge time, range has become so muddy. Right? Like, range. If you have your air conditioning on, this is your range. If you have, like, to do something to where even the hardest person against it's like, yep, I will consider that electric car now, right? Like,
Yeah,
you have to almost overdo it, right? Like, logic and AI would tell you, no, you need to get to this point, and then 99.999999% of the population will be covered. Midwest, East Coast, North, South, etc.
Right.
Like, this will definitely do the job for all of their motoring needs, always.
Yeah.
And then you probably have to tack on 50 to 100. Like, you either have to like add like 50% to that or double it for like the people. Like, now we're talking. I'm never ever going to use that, but I could.
Yes. Just the what if scenario.
Yeah.
What if I need that?
Yes. At any rate,
Anyway.
that's going to be a wrap. Thank you
Yes,
to everyone
sir.
who watched, commented, shared, all of that sort of fun stuff. I appreciate you guys as always. Greg, send us out with your dad advice for the week.
Oh, I have no dad advice this week. Drink lots of water. That's all I got this week.
All right. Well, Greg is clearly slacking. We'll get